the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before.
It's like a dream, a wonderful dream come true.
There is something familiar about her.
Cinderella, released in 1950, stands as one of the most pivotal animated films in cinema history, not merely because of its fairy tale familiarity, but because of what it represented for its studio and for animation as a whole. Emerging after a difficult decade marked by financial strain and global uncertainty, the film carried the weight of expectation. Its success was essential, and that urgency can be felt in the careful balance of craftsmanship, emotional simplicity, and classical storytelling that defines the movie. Rather than reinventing the fairy tale, the film refines it, presenting a version that feels timeless, gentle, and emotionally accessible, built on clarity rather than complexity. The story unfolds in a softly romanticized past where elegance and hardship coexist. From its opening moments, the film establishes Cinderella as a figure of quiet endurance. She is not portrayed as rebellious or bitter, but as someone whose strength lies in patience and hope. Her life is shaped by routine and restraint, waking before dawn to serve a household that offers her little kindness in return. This daily rhythm gives the film a grounded emotional base, making her eventual transformation feel earned rather than miraculous. The animators emphasize this through body language and expression, allowing small gestures to communicate longing, resignation, and resilience. Cinderella's relationship with her animal companions plays a crucial role in defining her character. The mice, birds, and other creatures are not simply comedic sidekicks, but extensions of her emotional world. They represent loyalty, community, and the small joys she is denied by her human surroundings. Through them, the film injects warmth and humor into an otherwise oppressive environment. The mice, particularly, are given distinct personalities, transforming what could have been background decoration into active participants in the story's momentum. Their efforts to help Cinderella attend the ball are framed as acts of genuine friendship rather than slapstick convenience. The antagonistic force of the film is embodied by Cinderella's stepmother, a character defined by quiet cruelty rather than overt villainy. Her power lies in emotional manipulation and calculated control, making her presence unsettling in its calmness. She does not shout or rage. Instead, she undermines Cinderella through rules, promises, and subtle reminders of authority. This restraint makes her more realistic and, in many ways, more frightening. Her daughters, by contrast, provide exaggerated vanity and jealousy, serving as visual and behavioral contrasts to Cinderella's grace. Together, they form an environment designed to suppress individuality and hope. The narrative progression is deliberately unhurried, allowing the audience to settle into Cinderella's world before introducing the promise of escape. When news of the royal ball spreads, it feels like a distant dream rather than an immediate opportunity. The film treats this event not just as a plot device, but as a symbol of possibility, something that exists beyond Cinderella's reach, yet fuels her inner resolve. Her decision to prepare a dress with the help of her animal friends becomes an act of quiet rebellion, even though it is carried out with humility rather than defiance. One of the film's most emotionally charged moments occurs when Cinderella's hope is abruptly shattered. The destruction of her dress is not framed as explosive drama, but as a deeply personal loss. The animation slows, the music softens, and the weight of disappointment settles heavily. This moment is essential because it underscores the emotional cost of hope in an unjust world. It also prepares the audience for the arrival of magic, ensuring that the supernatural intervention feels necessary rather than arbitrary. The introduction of the fairy godmother marks a tonal shift, bringing warmth, light, and playful wonder into the narrative. This character embodies benevolence without condescension, offering help without diminishing Cinderella's worth. The transformation sequence, where rags become a gown and a pumpkin becomes a carriage, is one of the most iconic scenes in animation history. Its power lies not just in visual spectacle, but in pacing and musical accompaniment, creating a sense of awe that feels genuinely uplifting. The magic does not erase Cinderella's struggles. It temporarily lifts her above them, reinforcing the theme that kindness and patience are rewarded. The royal ball itself is portrayed as a dreamlike space, distinct from the harshness of Cinderella's home. Soft lighting, sweeping movement, and elegant choreography give the scene an ethereal quality. Cinderella's interaction with the prince is deliberately simple. Their connection is based less on dialogue and more on mutual recognition, as if they see in each other a shared longing for sincerity and freedom. This simplicity has often been noted as a defining feature of the film, allowing the romance to feel universal rather than specific. The midnight deadline introduces tension without disrupting the film's gentle tone. Cinderella's flight from the ball is urgent yet graceful, culminating in the loss of the glass slipper. This object becomes the story's central symbol, representing identity, truth, and the fragile line between dream and reality. The slipper's uniqueness reinforces the idea that Cinderella's worth cannot be replicated or faked, no matter how hard others try. The latter portion of the film shifts focus to the search for the slipper's owner, building anticipation through repetition and near misses. Cinderella's imprisonment by her stepmother is particularly telling, revealing the antagonist's willingness to abandon pretense when control is threatened. Even here, Cinderella remains composed, relying once more on the loyalty of her animal friends. The resolution arrives not with confrontation, but with quiet vindication, as the slipper fits and Cinderella's identity is affirmed beyond doubt. The final moments of the film emphasize transformation not just in status, but in self-realization. Cinderella does not become someone new. She is simply allowed to be who she has always been, free from oppression. The ending reinforces the film's central message that inner grace, when paired with perseverance, can outlast cruelty and injustice. It is a conclusion designed to leave audiences with reassurance rather than triumphalism. Behind the scenes, the film represented a return to form for its creators. The animation style favors clarity and realism, particularly in human movement, achieved through extensive reference and careful drafting. This grounded approach allows the magical elements to stand out more vividly. The backgrounds are richly detailed yet restrained, supporting the narrative without overwhelming it. Music plays an equally important role, with songs integrated seamlessly into the story rather than interrupting it. Each musical moment advances character or mood, contributing to the film's cohesive structure. The voice performances add depth without theatrical excess. Cinderella's voice conveys sincerity and warmth, making her optimism feel genuine rather than naïve. The stepmother's calm delivery enhances her menace, while the supporting characters provide contrast through humor and charm. This balance of tones ensures that the film appeals to a broad audience, from children drawn to the animals and magic to adults who recognize the emotional undercurrents of endurance and hope. Upon its release, the film was met with widespread appreciation, both critically and commercially. Its success reaffirmed the viability of animated feature films at a time when the medium's future was uncertain. Over the years, Cinderella has remained a cultural touchstone, influencing countless adaptations, reinterpretations, and artistic homages. Its imagery, particularly the glass slipper and the transformation scene, has become deeply embedded in popular imagination. The promotional materials for the film emphasized romance, magic, and wish fulfillment, capturing the essence of the story without revealing its emotional subtleties. Audiences were invited into a world of elegance and enchantment, with the promise of a happy ending that felt both comforting and aspirational. This approach helped position the film as a return to classic fairy tale storytelling, appealing to post-war audiences seeking optimism and stability. What continues to set Cinderella apart is its restraint. The film does not rely on spectacle alone, nor does it rush emotional beats. Its power lies in its belief in simplicity, in the idea that kindness matters, that hope can survive even in the most limiting circumstances, and that dreams, while fragile, are worth holding on to. This sincerity allows the film to transcend its era, remaining relevant to new generations of viewers. Cinderella's legacy is not defined solely by its narrative or technical achievements, but by its emotional clarity. It presents a world where goodness is not loud or aggressive, but patient and enduring. In doing so, it offers a quiet affirmation that dignity and compassion can prevail, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. This enduring message, paired with elegant animation and memorable music, ensures that Cinderella remains not just a classic, but a foundational work in the history of animated storytelling.